Sepang didn't roar today. It hissed. Rain fell like gasoline on Ducati's fragile calm, and Pecco Bagnaia walked through it like a man done pretending. His leathers dripped, his voice trembled, not from weakness but restraint. For months, every journalist, ex-rider, and couch analyst had sung the same tired chorus. Marc Marquez broke Pecco, and finally, he snapped. I was having trouble before when he was on track. I'm having trouble now that Marc is home. The line cracked louder than thunder over the Malaysian pit wall. You could almost hear it echo through Bologna's polished corridors where the engineers bury truth in PowerPoints. Because that sentence carried venom, the kind that comes from a man who's been cornered by his own empire. For Ducati, Sepang's reign wasn't weather, it was revelation. The GP25, the weapon they built to destroy, was now a ghost dragging its champion through gravel and self-doubt. The machine twitched, refused throttle, laughed at traction. Pecco wasn't riding a bike, he was riding defiance. And when champions ride defiance, history bends. How long before Ducati admits it's not the rider that's broken, but the direction? How long before Pecco stops being patient and starts being political? Comment your verdict before the storm gets louder. The build-up. You could feel the tension before a single wheel hit the wet asphalt. The paddock smelled of rain and resentment. The ghosts of Phillip Island still lingered, those stability issues, those invisible tremors that turned Ducati's front end into a nervous wreck. Engineers called it data inconsistency. Pecco called it hell on entry. Marc Marquez's absence was supposed to be a relief. Instead, it made Pecco the only general left on a collapsing front. Every lens, every mic, every Ducati shirt turned toward him like vultures waiting for the post-mortem. Since Austria, his feedback has been one long scream into a padded room. He's begged for front-end fixes, questioned geometry, grip distribution, throttle sensitivity, and every time, Bologna replied with the same digital shrug. We're analyzing. That phrase has killed more races than crashes ever did. The Sepang weekend started like a rerun of a bad dream. First practice. Rain slicked. The GP25 shook like an animal trapped in its own leash. He missed Q2, not because he lacked speed, but because Ducati's strategy drowned in confusion. Late traffic, mistimed laps, and a bit of chaos, as he called it. Bezzecchi out, Aldeguer out. The supposed future of Italy's Red Kingdom, all lost in Q1 mud. Even the rain seemed to pity them. In Ducati's garage, Luigi Dalligna's silence said more than strategy sheets ever could. He watched monitors as if they'd betray him again. Because beneath the corporate calm, everyone knew. Without Marquez's data monster feeding the system, they were guessing in the dark. The world saw Pecco's anger as ego. But inside that rage is accuracy. He's not fighting ghosts, he's fighting negligence disguised as innovation. Who's steering Ducati now, its riders or its pride? Was Marquez's dominance a gift or a distraction that blinded them all? Comment below, who's truly in control of the Red Empire? The battlefield. The rain hit Sepang's surface like shrapnel. Practice sessions became survival drills. Riders tiptoed through aquaplanes. The brave slid with intent. But Pecco? He hunted control. Each lap was a conversation with chaos. Each corner an argument with physics. Turns 14 and 15, Sepang's final trap, mocked him again. He couldn't open throttle without spinning. No drive, no grip, no mercy. The bike felt like it was trying to escape its own geometry. He called it movement. The kind of diplomatic term racers use when they're screaming inside their helmets. From pit lane, Ducati watched, logged, and nodded. Telemetry blinked in red, engineers whispered, but nothing changed. Every sector where the GP25 was supposed to reign, it hesitated. Every line he drew in the wet disappeared beneath the wobble. By mid-session, it wasn't a practice anymore. It was therapy through fury. Pecco was throwing laps like punches, sliding in wet corners, braking late enough to make the camera crews flinch. Each lap a middle finger to the Marquez broke him narrative. Meanwhile, chaos spread. Bezzecchi, Aprilia's newfound rebel, lost rhythm in the wet, fighting rear instability. Aldeguer, that Grazzini wonder kid, spun through turn 8 like a rookie testing limits. The rain stripped every factory of their illusions. But inside Ducati, the storm wasn't about lap times. It was about hierarchy. Pecco's frustration had turned volcanic. You could feel it in the radio tone, tight-clipped, sarcastic. He wasn't just giving feedback, he was demanding accountability. Ducati built their kingdom on precision, but Sepang exposed their arrogance. Their two-time champion was sliding through puddles on a €3 million machine that refused to listen. The question burning through the paddock wasn't who'd top the timesheet. It was whether Pecco's patience had finally expired. When a champion starts fighting his own engineers, who wins? Is this Ducati's slow implosion masked as technical development? Drop your take in the comments and subscribe before this empire burns in real time. Pecco walked out of the Ducati garage, helmet dangling, jaw locked. The interview hit like a grenade. I'm having trouble before when he was on the track. I'm having trouble now that Marc is home. You could almost hear the sighs from Ducati's PR team. The sentence they feared most had escaped containment. Because that single line flipped the entire season's narrative upside down. For months, pundits painted Pecco as a man psychologically dismantled by Marquez's arrival. But reality was uglier. He wasn't beaten by competition. He was betrayed by the evolution meant to empower him. The GP25, Ducati's golden child, now looked like a mechanical metaphor for bureaucracy, over-engineered, under-understood. The same stability demons that haunted Phillip Island danced again in Sepang's humidity. Even with better feeling, the bike's aggression refused to calm. Behind closed doors, engineers admitted it. Something's off in the chassis dynamics, a ghost in the mechanical balance that no software can exercise. But instead of a solution, Pecco keeps getting silence. No rider can fight when his own team doubts his sensations. Meanwhile, Gigi Dall'Igna's attention drifts toward the 2026 prototype. The message is clear: endure it, Pecco. Next year's bike will fix this. But for a champion, patience feels like humiliation, especially when the same company worships Marquez's feedback like gospel. And that's the paradox killing Ducati's spirit. Without Marc, they're lost. With him, they're split. So Pecco's collapse isn't physical, it's philosophical. A man realizing his words mean less than the data he provides. Is Ducati forgetting how to trust human instinct? Are they building machines for numbers or riders? From now, where does this put Pecco? The time will tell us. Comment below. Every empire falls the same way. Silence at the top, rebellion at the bottom. Ducati's silence has turned into an echo chamber, and Bagnaia's rebellion is the only thing keeping it honest. Let's be blunt. The GP25 isn't a championship bike anymore. It's a laboratory experiment. Its traction problems, mid-corner instability, and braking inconsistencies have made every race since Austria a psychological stress test. The engineers can't find a fix because they're chasing ghosts in data rather than listening to the man who risks his bones for those numbers. Pecco's anger today isn't insecurity, it's insight. He's the only rider willing to tell Bologna that their perfect machine is perfectly flawed. When he says, "We've been carrying the movement since the beginning of the year," he's not making excuses, he's documenting failure. Meanwhile, Ducati's other red-clad hero sits at home healing from surgery, his name still dominating headlines. And that's the irony. Even when Marc isn't in the box, he controls the narrative. His absence was supposed to lighten Pecco's shoulders. Instead, it's buried him under double the weight. Because now, Ducati doesn't have a shield. They have a scapegoat. If Sepang's reign did anything, it washed away the PR polish. We saw raw Ducati again. Brilliant, broken, beautiful chaos. And Pecco, he's tired of playing diplomat for a company that won't face its own cracks. The Malaysian weekend will continue, and maybe he'll find pace in Q1. Maybe he'll even score podiums. But the larger war is already visible. Rider trust versus corporate arrogance. History has shown this battle before. Stoner with Honda, Rossi with Yamaha, Lorenzo with Ducati, and it always ends the same way. The factory learns too late that emotion beats simulation. So here we are, Pecco bleeding patience, Ducati bleeding direction, and Rain laughing in the middle of it all. Who's right, the data or the rider? Who bends first, the champion or the empire? Comment what you believe. Subscribe for more savage breakdowns. The war is only warming up.